Hey guys, and welcome to the new episode of Automated Seller Podcast. Today I have a special guest, David Milstein from SellerCord. We actually met first time I think at the Prospect Show where we talked just a little bit, and then we've met at the Tel Aviv at the conference. We talked a little bit. I know, David, that you are running a Walmart agency, and I'm super happy to have you here. How are you doing today?
Hey Jacob, thank you for having me. Doing great. It's just getting the day
Awesome.
started. Yeah.
Perfect. So I usually do actually all the podcasts around Amazon. However, from what I actually saw even at Prospect Show and by just interviewing other people, seems like Walmart is something like Amazon in 2017, 2018, and I actually really wonder what are your thoughts on that before we even jump to the further conversation, because this is something to really kick off this podcast.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, whenever I talk to potential people at a show, just give them that Walmart pitch. One of the main things I discuss is that Walmart is the Amazon marketplace 7 years ago. That's exactly like where I hit it. That 2017 space where it's like what's going on right now. Like you could get in and you could speak to any Amazon seller. If you got in at that time and you actually like put in the effort to your listings, you would have top listings selling today in whatever category you chose. Like maybe there's a couple of categories here and there, but like the fact that back then it was kind of transitioning from the resellers to the private label space and the more generic categories, and the niche products hadn't yet started to flourish. It's like it's a carbon copy of that on Walmart. The one
Yeah.
difference being, in my opinion, is that Walmart is going to be faster to get through the stages kind of than Amazon was, because Amazon was the first. Walmart kind of has a roadmap of how to
Yeah.
go about it, and it's getting there. So
That's very interesting actually, because yeah, like that makes completely sense, right? So we are there when Amazon was 7 years ago. However, there's not really time to waste. Like you should actually get on Walmart as soon as possible because it will get to the point where Amazon is much faster. So no, like that's a really great start. And yeah, David, uh, I really actually wonder because you're running the Cellcord. It's a Walmart agency, but before that, like if you could tell a little bit about your background, what actually made you to co-found this agency? Um, yeah.
sure. So I actually my background, like I first started off doing like IT and systems implementation in a 3PL company. So I used to work like in warehouses, like teaching employees how to use our software, working with the developer to grow, and I love just the tech space as a whole. I ended up working with some friends of mine who had been selling on Amazon for years, like since they were in high school, and we joined up together, because they were looking to really expand, and what they had in like the marketing share, that was really where they perform well. They kind of lacked in, let's say, the organizational and the system side of things. So it was a really great synergy over there. I came in to support from there, they support from the marketing, and we initially actually just continued selling. They were selling through multi omni channel. They put some
Hmm.
products on Walmart and saw crazy success over COVID because we sold like fitness products.
Yeah.
And during COVID, work from home was really big, and we're like, whoa, there's a whole market over here that people don't really see, and like it's really growing at a really insane rate. So we gone to Walmart as a whole. We're like, yo, let's find all these different products that could succeed on Walmart. We put them on Walmart. We're like, wow, we're seeing a lot of success. And they're like, let's step back here. We could look at just like how do we dominate the Walmart marketplace, but then let's go a step further than that. What's so big on Amazon now? Everyone is doing either, let's say, software or an agency. Let's be that big Walmart agency. So many of these, there are a handful of Walmart agencies compared to Amazon agencies. They're flooded. Everyone, you go to every show, everyone you speak
Oh,
to, yeah,
really?
oh, by the way, I'm a seller, but I also manage 5 brands. Like everyone does that. Versus on
Yeah.
Walmart, it's so small comparatively.
Hmm.
So we really like, let's kind of hold off on the selling and really put our focus to be that agency in this space, so that we can really take the market for that. And that's really what's been going on. Been really to going from back to the background in IT to help me and to help us
Yeah.
now like build internal systems, help us manage. One of our struggles for one struggle for like a lot of agencies is how do you manage so many clients without
Multiple
like
accounts, yeah.
losing things, right? So many agencies are just very bare bones. Like yeah, they just have like a page with logins. They log into the account, they do what they need to do, and move on. Like versus like we because we deal with so many companies, you have hundreds of brands that we're working with. We have to be very detailed and very strategized internally. So that's where kind of I was able to step in, build those processes, and thankfully, it's been a very solid trip since.
That's awesome. So again, just to so I understood it correctly, you've started actually also selling on Walmart. So first you actually build a success there, and then you decided to just create this agency because there were not so many of them, and that's actually perfect idea. I mean, also as you said on this roadmap that Walmart itself is going to just catch up with Amazon. It can be also similar to the agency business, right? I mean,
Sure.
there's so many Amazon agencies, and you can just pick what's the best on Amazon right now, copy it right away, and do it in Walmart space. And especially that your background is in IT, solving the issues with multiple accounts, handling their data, managing their accounts. That's just powerful. I mean, I know personally because we work with so many Amazon agencies that they are still running on Google spreadsheets, that they are just manually downloading the data. I mean, that's how we help those companies to actually um, do it everything through the API, automate those things. But you are as having the background, like IT background, I believe that you already connected to Walmart API and you are successfully doing it. That's awesome. And
Yeah.
actually, I would love to hear a little bit more about the Walmart API because I can give you some background about how we got to the space of building tools for Amazon sellers. Like we are the custom software agency, but it's not only that we build it for Amazon sellers. We actually really want to expand Walmart as well because I know there is a space for the tools. I know there are companies that are looking to build their own tools, but as far as I heard, there's a problem with API that it's super hard to get access to. Could you tell a little bit more about that?
Well, I'll say like this: there are a couple things. To get a standard API connection, any seller can just give you the API credentials. They could create a new set of credentials. The only limit is you won't be on the list. Like if you go to click on the drop down list of the providers, you're not there, but that's fine. Like you could just pick anyone on the list. There's a good number of sellers on, or not sellers, a good number of like tools or agencies on that list. You just pick anyone and you have the API, and that's as simple as that. You could then use that API credentials to pull whatever you need as long as you have the correct accesses from the user. So that's not
Mm-hmm.
really where it gets difficult. The difficulty is specifically, I think, on the advertising side of things. Those APIs are very very exclusive. Like they do not share that information. That
Yeah.
is very limited right now. I know it's something that Walmart will eventually offer more like availability for, but as of today, it's not necessarily available. On the flip side, on like just the regular APIs, to become a provider is a little bit more difficult, and that's something that you kind of have to be able to show to Walmart that you have something
Yeah.
legit to sell to them, and then you can get access to just be a provider on the list. But otherwise, anyone can give you API credentials. What I would say is APIs on Walmart are they need some work. Walmart definitely needs and they know that, they understand that, and they actually just updated it last month, and there's they're going to be doing a lot more updates to it. Apparently, they're going to do a full like just a overhaul, like a whole new set with a bunch of different information, which should be coming whatever TBD. At some point in the
Okay.
coming future. But like Walmart,
It,
just Walmart is in general is like that. Walmart's always looking to expand. So, but anything on such a large level will take time to come. But if you see right now, there's limitations in many different ways with Walmart. So kind of
mm-hmm.
becoming familiarized with the APIs can take a little bit, but once you get there, you pretty much have a good understanding. But there's going to be
Got it.
issues with some reports that don't necessarily come through, or just missing information here and there. It's just
Yeah.
there are complexities when it comes to it. So getting familiarity is a bit does take a bit of time. But I know it's something that
Sure.
Walmart will be working on resolving.
That's actually very nice insights. I mean, we will definitely get into Walmart space and also on the API side. But this is a topic on another time. I actually wonder if you when you are managing your client's account, like do you have your own in-house solution to do that, or you are using some existing tool providers like that out there?
Sure. So we actually do a few different things. There's not. We launched in July of 2021. We actually just passed our 2 year anniversary, like I guess last week, over the weekend maybe.
Nice.
And it's so at that rate, it's really hard to just have everything ready to go. So we work with a few different like tools that do exist, that do have tools for, let's say, the Walmart space, as well as doing a lot of stuff internally. And we're always like growing here and they're always looking to like, okay, how do we build this for ourselves? What do we need to do in this space and that space? Interestingly enough, I'm sure you're familiar with the refund space as a whole on Walmart. Like in general, in the e-com space, you have these massive titans like Gatita. You know that like that they have so many sellers that they do reimbursements for on Amazon. So on Walmart, we're actually the only tool that exists for that, and that's all a system that we
Oh
built. We
wow,
realized the need for that. We have Refund
that's sick.
Stacker, we call it, where we have that's all a tool that we built because we understand the need for it, and that has to be a tool because the just the automation that needs to be done is so important because trying to do that manually is impossible. It's way too much data to
Yeah,
sift through. It's really difficult. So we find where is the biggest need for a tool internally. Primarily, we're primarily working right now just like building our internal tools to be as efficient as possible. To cut down on everything, workload, assistance, identifying problems. But we do work with a couple of other tools in the space, that do help us for the things that we can't or haven't yet worked on internally.
that's awesome. And I think it's very important also for your clients and your future clients to know that, because the agency that just has the tools, it has more efficiency and just gives you better results. So that's super important that you actually said that. And I think it's very important. But now let's talk a little bit more on actually launching brands on Walmart. If you could just compare it maybe a little bit on like how does it work from scratch? How does it differs from Amazon and the eBay?
Sure. So launching on Walmart is, I guess, would say a similar idea to Amazon. Just where people kind of lack is when you're launching on Amazon these days, you kind of you expect, okay, it's going to be a lot of work and I'm going to get a big payoff. But on Walmart, you think the payoff's not going to be so big, so I'm not going to put in as much or as much work. And that's, I would say, one of the major pitfalls of where sellers kind of screw up because they're not necessarily understanding the ability or what the offering that Walmart will bring over time, and you need to put in that work. You need to put in that same amount of work. So the way you get started, Walmart is a little bit more restrictive of who they accept as sellers compared to that of Amazon. Additionally, especially your European based, which there's only one, only in UK is the only country in Europe
Hmm.
where you're able to set up a Walmart account under the UK like legal documents, and
Oh
anything,
wow.
yeah, and anything in the US is fine. So if you have, let's say you're based in Germany or wherever it is, if you have a US
Yeah.
LLC, that's fine as long as you have like a warehouse in America. That you're good to go over there. But there are limitations for that compared to that of Amazon.
Yeah.
But still, like once you have all your legal docs set up, you go ahead, you apply for an account. As long as you have a legitimate Amazon store, they'll typically accept you. Even better if you have like a DTC shop. Um, get in, and then what's very important is to optimize your listings. Many people just expect that their Amazon copy or the Amazon content will work. No, you have to put in the work.
So
You got to sit
it's
there.
totally different, or
For sure, it's so different. People like on Amazon, you have very long titles, like shorter descriptions. You kind of rely on your EBC to do so much of the selling for you. Versus on Walmart, just EBC is such a new idea on Walmart. It used to exist, but they just brought it back. It's most listings don't have EBC compared to that at Amazon. How many listings don't have EBC that are top sellers? So, it's just different strategies when it comes to these things. Like the titles need to be more concise and shorter. The descriptions need to be a lot more lengthy, and really that's where you're focusing your keyword stuffing. You have to make sure your attributes are filled out. You have to make sure you're categorized correctly. Like put in the time
hmm
to figure all these things out. If you're not doing that, you're just going to be running into problems. So there's definitely, well, I would say like a very basic set of steps is get your account set up with legal. They're pretty straightforward. As long as you're a legitimate company in the U.S., you'll be fine. Start by just importing from Amazon. That's just the easiest way to do it. They have some
hmm
very, very easy, like Walmart, I'll say where they really succeed, their guides are phenomenal. They give you guides that tell you
that's
exactly what
awesome.
to do and like make use of it. Sellerhelp.walmart.com like gives you that information that you need. They tell you exactly what needs to be done, screenshots. It's really clean. Bring in your catalog, work on optimization, break it down 15 SKUs at a time, focus on the copy, focus on the attributes, look at the categories, move on to the next list. Start running ads on that first set. You just keep moving down the line, optimize, run ads, optimize, run ads. And there's other strategies as well. For example, regarding reviews, we'll discuss all that.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, totally. Just before we continue here, I wanted to ask you. So you said that you take your listings from Amazon, but so that it doesn't mean that you when you actually consider to scale to Amazon or like sell to Amazon, it should be better. It's just better in general that you first sell somewhere else. So well, Walmart, it's not your, like your first
right.
marketplace, or you think that Walmart could be also like your first marketplace. I really wonder what's that ratio here.
So
What's your opinion?
So one of the things that Walmart really looks for when onboarding sellers is that you are a seller somewhere else. I'm
Okay.
not going to say it's impossible because it's definitely not, but it's much harder to get an account not like someone who doesn't sell on Walmart anywhere on
Mm-hmm.
to get an account on Walmart compared to being a seller somewhere else. So if you're just starting fresh and you want to go to Walmart, if you get an account, good for you. Like it's going to be a great opportunity. It's highly recommended, but Walmart's typically not going to be as easy to get an account with them. So I would suggest first having some sort of presence on another marketplace and then shifting your efforts to Walmart as an additional source of revenue rather than being your only. But I mean, if you get in, please, like that's a great place to be. It's a great place to be.
Awesome. And now for actually SellerCord, could you tell a little bit to us like how does your services exactly work? Like from which kind of point you can help sellers to get on Walmart and how the whole process looks like?
Sure, of course, of course. So we're a full service agency, meaning like literally anything you can think of with Walmart, we'll handle for you. We have divisions across the board. I'll say our primary customer that we deal with are Amazon sellers that are looking to either expand to Walmart or grow their existing Walmart sellers. Very few sellers are already successful on Walmart because they go through the same mistakes of just not putting in the work on Amazon. But they understand, many customers understand that this is a good marketplace. So how we work is we help with if you're not selling on Walmart, we can help you get an account with Walmart. If you are selling, what we do is we do an onboarding package where we work on building each SKU individually. We write copy for you based specifically on Walmart keyword search volume. Um, According to Walmart style guides, we've written copy for tens of thousands of listings. Like we have our experience there. We've seen what works. We see what doesn't work across multiple categories. We also work on the correct categorization. There's product types, category paths, which are like very, very detailed. And you might think that you're in the right one because it seems correct for your product, but you actually might want to target a more broad term that works better and has better keywords for your listing. Like it's not so simple. We've managed so many listings that we know which have worked and which haven't worked. And we're constantly on top of that, filling in attributes that Walmart requests, just getting you to have a good listing quality score. We then transition to a monthly/PPC management role where we're
Hmm.
constantly managing your listings. We handle everything except for inventory and customer service, because you manage your own inventory and customer service. We don't know your products as well as you do. But everything else, we run ads. We're constantly looking at the listings. If something goes down, we're on top of that to make sure it's something somebody's working on it. Walmart will randomly change your category path, and that could really mess up your sales if you're not on top
Hmm.
of that. So we're always monitoring everything. Any listing or issues that we find, boom, we're on top of that. We're making sure that it's being worked on. We
Hmm.
also host Rich Media, which is A plus content for Walmart. It's something that unfortunately Walmart doesn't currently have through themselves. So you have to work with third party hosts. So that is something we offer for, let's say, EBC videos, 360 images, FAQs, document hosting, comparison charts,
Hmm.
interactive tours. Like there's 7 different modules that you can see in an additional section on Walmart, which just helps you protect your page against other advertisers, because you're just
Yeah.
taking up more shelf space, as well as just helping with your conversion rate as a whole, giving better content to your customers. um,
Hmm.
we also,
That's awesome.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure, there's so many different offerings. We also work on like the 1P side of things. There's so much opportunity for brands to get into stores, which is a whole nother topic. But that's something that we've been putting a bit of a focusing over there, working on some enterprise accounts that already exist in 1P. 1P is a whole space
To-
there's really insane opportunity on Walmart, and really anything that we could help with, we work with.
Awesome. And now let's talk about actually some problems, because I mean, obviously there's a huge opportunity there. Sellers should definitely go there. You can help them, but let's talk about the dark side of it. All of the problems with Walmart that you are actually helping your customers to get through. Could you share some experience and stories with that?
Sure. So like a big thing is, many of these large brands that come to us, they experience what's called content rights, where some other seller at one point listed their listings on Walmart because Walmart like was not as on top of things previously. You had these accounts that were literally have millions of listings where they would just copy from Amazon to Walmart, and they would drop ship. They would like double the price and drop ship the products from Amazon. Most of the time, they didn't really make any sales, but since they had millions of products, even selling a few units would be worthwhile for
Mm-hmm.
them. So the thing is, when that happened, is they had like these bots that would scrape Amazon for these listings and putting them on Walmart using their UPCs. So now, when the real
Okay.
seller comes, Walmart doesn't know who to trust for the content. So you have to prove to Walmart that you're actually the brand owner. And that could be a little bit of a complex process, but ideally you want to have Walmart does have brand portal where you can register, so that's a big problem that a lot of sellers have. Additionally, compliance issues. Walmart will just be like, hey, there's a problem with that listing. And you'll look and like it doesn't sometimes it doesn't make sense. You're selling a one pack and a two pack. The two pack isn't listed, but the one pack is. It just doesn't make sense to you. So we'll work with Walmart to get that listing reinstated. Not guaranteed,
Mm-hmm.
because and then you have to just go to Walmart for whatever they say. But typically, if it's something that should be able to be sold, we are able to get it sold. That's just a couple of
Got it.
things I could just think of that are just some problems people are facing that we can help them get those resolved. But generally, and we
Awesome.
see, because Walmart is so new, we see the most random different problems across so many accounts. Billing issues, just anything
Mm-hmm.
that could go wrong. Like we've seen some sort of instance of it going wrong.
And how is the Walmart support compared, like if you would compare it to Amazon support? Is it easy to work with? Do they respond quick, or it's similar?
It's interesting in the fact that it's kind of hit or miss. I would say this is you have Walmart support that like occasionally you just get that right rep and they just tell you exactly what you want. They just know exactly what to do to help you with. And I would say it definitely depends on the issue, but sometimes like let's say we're talking about like content rights issues. Yeah, we've had cases where it's resolved the next day. We have cases where it takes weeks. It's like what's going on over here, because it just happens to be the rep you got was not good. And I understand,
Mm-hmm.
because I would actually venture to say that Walmart support used to be better, but because there's been such a major like migration of sellers, that their support kind of dropped a little bit because they hired so many more support members that they're not necessarily as trained, and it's just new. It's new. So like you'll hear like you'll speak to them and they'll just say something that's like just not true. But
Yeah.
it's important to know. You have to know your stuff. You have to know the rules, and like if they say something that's incorrect, just tell them that it's wrong, and eventually they'll probably get you to someone that could do it. But like sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not great. It's a work in progress. And what will you see? You see Walmart's working on it, so
Yeah,
I'm excited
yeah,
for the
they are
future of it
improving, they are growing as well. So
for sure.
definitely. And now actually to motivate our listeners to try Walmart, could you share some of the success story, like the brand that you helped to scale on Walmart? And would be great if you could share also some numbers.
Yeah, of course. So we work with again so many different brands across many different places. I would say my favorite group of brands to work with are those that haven't sold on Walmart at all, or they just kind of put their listings up and nothing ever came of it.
Mm-hmm.
Versus we have some of these clients that, let's say, they used to sell Walmart for years and they used to do well, but now with the growing competition and they're not putting the effort, they kind of starting to fall off, because those clients typically have a little bit of higher expectations and aren't like, why should I put in the work? I used to do better. But like we have brands that literally haven't sold ever anything, and in under a year, they're at a point where they're 50K a month, which is not like insane compared to that of Amazon, but like it's going from selling $200 a month to then 20,000 in a few months, and then crossing that 50,000. It just shows the opportunity what the future has. And we have so many brands that
Exactly.
we brought them from their infancy. We brought them from literally doing 1,000, even $200, like up under 5,000 a month, to now selling 30, 40, 50,000 a month, and more. You know, it typically takes longer if you want to break that 100K barrier. You're going to have to be selling already for a bit. It's just going to take time because Walmart's all about the snowball effect, and I say this all the time. Like, if you want to get that listing that's going to be selling hundreds of units a day, it's going to take time. You're not going to get there overnight. Yeah, as good as your product is and as well as it sells on Amazon, it's going to come with time,
Yeah.
because on Walmart, what's interesting is you have the brand new little sellers selling their own private label, and then you're competing with these massive 1P brands that just
Yeah.
have been dominating for years. So you're slowly chipping away at these 1P brands until you're starting to get into that space. And once you're in that space, you're selling. You're selling really, really well. So we've worked with some beauty brands that have gone literally like from brand new to Walmart to we just crossed 40K last month. We had another brand that sells in like the auto space, also just crossed 60K. You know, you have these. We're only 2 years old ourselves, so some of our clients are new with us. So we're not. I have brands that are selling hundreds of thousands a month, but they're typically have already like been on Walmart for a while. So there's the success over there as well. It's very interesting. It's
Yeah.
very interesting to see that.
And I think that the major factor is that people shouldn't have like crazy expectations that they will get the same results on Amazon, due to the fact that Walmart is just not that big as a platform. It doesn't have that huge user base, people who are buying from Walmart yet, right? So we just need to understand that Walmart itself is also working on that. It's growing itself, and then in a couple of years it might be there, and you may actually see those crazy results that you see on Amazon. But who wouldn't like to have additional 40K a month from selling online, right? So I think it's a great opportunity, and those are already like great case studies of clients who scaled with you. So that's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, definitely. I just to add to that is like exactly what you're saying. Amazon dominates today because of just they're the one place. They're the place everyone goes to shop. But Walmart's growing at a much faster rate of that of Amazon. Walmart's been having about 100% year-over-year growth for the past 3 years, versus Amazon had about 30% growth total. You know, it's just not the same. And like Walmart's trying everything they can. They're really promoting Walmart Plus. I'm sure most of us have seen an ad for Walmart Plus in the past week, especially right now. You know, this week is Prime Day. Walmart's like, hey, we got Walmart Plus week. You know, it's not 2 days, it's 4 days. It's the whole week. It's starting today till Thursday. Like they're just trying to do everything they can to have those sales, and they're optimize or just trying out these different ways. If you're on TikTok, you're gonna see ads for Walmart Plus. Like they're just everywhere. They're
Yeah.
trying to get you. They're trying to get you onto Walmart, and I'm Team Walmart. You know, because that's what it is. But I'm very
Yeah.
excited to see how this pans out over the next few
Awesome.
years.
Awesome. Do you actually think that Walmart will plan to expand to other countries, like other continents, like Europe?
So it's a very interesting idea. You know, I don't typically have this conversation because most again of our sellers are U.S. based. Where Walmart really beats Amazon, so to speak, is on their own turf in the US, because they have the infrastructure. They have more warehouses than any other company in the US. They have a Walmart within 50 miles of every American, right?
Yeah.
So they have the ability. What they're trying to do right now is win that space, be able to kind of beat Amazon on the prime like 2 hour delivery. You know, that's what their goal is right now. You know, to be able to have the fastest delivery in the game. To be able to win on that front, not only could you get your groceries delivered to you at Walmart, you could also buy anything you need. You know, that's kind of the idea of
Yeah.
what they're trying to do right now. Walmart doesn't really have an advantage right now outside of the US. There might be like a couple of stores maybe in like North America. I should probably know this. Like there's Walmart Canada, there's Walmart Mexico, but
Hmm.
there's not really Walmart in Europe. There might be like a one store somewhere, but I don't think there really is that
No,
market right now.
I've never seen
Yeah, I
actually.
don't I don't
When I was in the US for the first time, the first thing I did was like I took a picture in Walmart because it's just so iconic. So
yeah
yeah, no.
exactly.
But I was just wondering, maybe if you know, like sometimes, especially when you go to like conferences, the guys who are working at Walmart, they just sometimes tell, okay, like that's the strategy. Yeah, we are looking at the new markets, because like we have a very interesting marketplace here, called Kaufland. It's a German one. It also started with from a huge store, so I think it has very similar history, that it just started having huge stores, and at some point that they just launched the marketplace. I didn't even know it's a marketplace not so long ago, and then they just started expanding to new countries in. Europe, right? So I was just thinking, but yeah, who knows? We'll see. The best thing is that they have a laser focus, they are growing, and it's a great opportunity for sellers to expand there. And that's what matters at the moment. So yeah,
Definitely,
David, that was awesome. Thanks a lot for
of
being
course.
here. I just wanted to ask you one last question: how people can actually find you? How people can find a seller card and work with you?
Of course. Thank you, Jacob. Pleasure to be here, by the way. This was really fun. Could find SellCord online. You can come visit our website, sellcord.co, SELLCORD.co. You could email me directly to david@sellcord.co for any information, or just email info@sellcord.co. However way you want to reach out to us, follow us on LinkedIn. You'll find some great Walmart tips over there. Yeah, we are doing like more content and things like this. We do have a newsletter, highly recommended. Just subscribe. You can learn every month, get some more information about Walmart. And if you're looking to grow, please reach out. Reach out to us. Come to our website again, or just email me directly, david
Awesome.
at sulfur.co.
I'll make sure to also put the details in the
Yeah,
description of the YouTube or
perfect.
Spotify and other platforms. So yeah, David, thanks a
Amazing.
lot.
Of course. Jacob, appreciate it, my
Bye
man.
bye.
Thank you.